What's good? What's good, y'all? This is the real estate Q&A on this snowy, wintry Virginia evening. I'll be on here just for a little bit. You can ask your real estate questions. I'll give you a minute to get in here. Just a minute to get in here. Just a second to get in here. I'll give it a minute or two, and then I just want to go over just what's happening in real estate, the real estate Q&A. You can ask your questions. If you look at the screen there is a slide.apps.google type thing that you can send questions to. You can also comment on Facebook. So definitely feel free. What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? It's the real estate Q&A. We're just waiting a little bit for folks to get in here. You come ask whatever questions you want about real estate, and I'll see if I can answer them. We're going to kind of do this off the cuff. It's a nice wintry evening. You know what I'm saying? So ain't nothing better to do a Q&A, right? On the screen, you can see the ask questions there. You can also ask questions in the comments. We're just going to wait just a moment or two for some folks to hop on in. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We ain't going to be too long. We're not going to be too long at all. Because on this wintry night, I'm going to get in my chair in a little bit, sit back and watch me a movie. Maybe drink me a warm cup of tea. I typically would sip on an old fashioned, but we are keeping it dry for January. All right. Definitely appreciate you guys. We'll give it just another second. We're about 3 minutes in. Again, you got any questions? Go ahead and ask your questions. We're not going to be on here long. All right. I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. And if any questions pop up, cool. If not, cool. All right. Just real briefly, for you that don't know me, my name is Sean Slaughter. I'm a realtor with Realtor One Group Momentum. And I am a real estate agent and investor. All right. This past 2021 had a pretty decent year. Did about $5 million in sales. And that was really, really cool. It was unexpected, but it was really cool. I like to laugh, have fun. I'm a patient, knowledgeable realtor. I'm an excellent negotiator. Married for 20 years with a daughter in college and a daughter in high school. Just want to give you a quick background before we kind of hop into this thing. One other thing is that I have a YouTube channel at Sean Slaughter Homes. Just go to YouTube, type Sean Slaughter Homes. I'm giving all kinds of real estate tips, but not only real estate tips, I'm giving you tips on like budgeting, on organizing yourself. You can use it for your personal or for your own business. Additionally, I love to motivate. I do a lot of reading And so some of the things that I get from my reading, I give to you because I like to learn and I like to teach, and I'm giving it to you. All right. So please be sure to check that out. But today I'm here to take some questions, but I want to kind of give you a little peek into what's going on today in real estate because it's kind of crazy what's going on. And I want to show you guys some real home sales numbers. These are real numbers. These are actually transactions that I did. All right. So let me kind of go through them real quick. June 2nd of 2021, on Idlewood Avenue in Portsmouth, there was a house. LP stands for list price. SP stands for the actual final sales price. They were listing their house for $265. The final sales price of that house was $285. My buyers put in the bid. We had to bid with like 3 or 4 other bids. We had to do write the offer really, really well. And why? Because there were so many people, just like there is right now, there were so many people that wanted houses, but there's very few houses. It's almost like, when people line up for the new, for some collectible, Air Jordans or something like that. In the same way, houses are like that right now. All right. Houses are the new Air Jordans. There are so many people that want them, but there's so few houses on the market. Another transaction I did on 10/28, October 28th, right here in Smithfield, the list price was $325. The sales price was $350, $25,000 over. Now, you might say, hey, Sean, these people overpaid for these houses. These houses couldn't be worth that. Well, the appraisal is what the bank sends out to appraise the house to see if it's actually worth that amount. Because if it's not worth that amount, then the buyer has to make up the difference in cash. Here's what I mean. If the house is $265 and the bank comes back and says, well, this house is only worth $275, but we put an offer in for $285, that $10,000 difference, the buyer will have to come out of pocket. Guess what both of these appraisals came back at? This house won't sell for $265. We offered $285. It came back at $285. This was $325. We offered $350. It came back at $350. So this is not like the crash of 2008 and 2009 where you had a bunch of crooked mortgage companies like Countrywide handing out fake mortgages on interest-only payments that ballooned in 5 years and basically selling these securities that they knew were no good and the whole market. No. This is beautiful economics, supply and demand. The supply is low, the demand is high, and so the price increases. One last one. This one is closing on Tuesday. All right, this is my first sale, my first transaction of the year. And this was a tough one, but we finally got it to close on Tuesday, Anderson Avenue in Norfolk. This is a listing that I had. The original list price was $225. The sales price, the buyer came and offered us $236. And guess what? The house appraised. Well, because I had the listing side and the buyer is the one that actually purchased the appraisal. I don't know what the appraisal was, but I know it was at least $236 because they didn't have to come out of pocket. It was $236 or higher. Okay. Those are real home sales numbers. So if you're thinking about, well, should I, sell my house or so on and so forth, those are real, actual sales numbers. All right. Why are buyers so active right now? It's COVID. Who wants to go inside a house, right? Or isn't COVID affecting everybody? COVID is affecting everybody. But there's a surprising thing that COVID's done. The first thing that COVID's done is that it's pushed interest rates down. Okay? I'm going to tell y'all this right now. These are pandemic interest rates. Remember a couple of years ago when you bought a house and the interest rate was like 7% and you were like, oh my goodness, I can't believe these are the lowest interest rates I've ever seen in my life. These interest rates are 7%. Well, in 2020 and 2021, the interest rates got as low as 2.5%. The lowest one that I saw was like 2.39. These interest rates are not going to happen until the next pandemic. So right now, the interest rates are 3-ish. So what does that even mean? Here's what this means. Your interest rate determines your monthly payment. So a house that was a 4% interest rate that you could not afford at a 2, maybe a low 3% interest rate, you can now afford. You can actually afford more house with a lower interest rate. Also, buyers are flush with cash because of COVID. I think one of the coolest and most frustrating things that I've seen with COVID is that I had buyers put offers on houses and they had 3 or 4 offers. And the agent came back and said, yeah, we're sorry. You guys didn't get the bid because this $400,000 house, somebody came and paid $410,000 in cash. Buyers are flush with cash. Businesses are making more money as some businesses like restaurants and entertainment venues are losing money. There are other businesses that are making lots of money. So there are actually people that are making a lot of money. Also, because a lot of people are staying home, they're not spending as much money as they would going out and doing it because they're in the house a lot. You know what I'm saying? Buyers also are active because there's a historically low number of homes for sale on the market. So it's almost like a frenzy in a sense of people hear their friends are buying houses, getting great rates, buying these big houses or buying a bigger house and more house than they ever think they can afford. And so other people say, I want to buy more house than I think I can afford. That's one of the other reasons that buyers are so active. All right. This is just a quick rain news informational type thing. And one thing I want you to pay attention. This is January 2020. All right. So this is January 21 right now. So this is this month. Actually, this is January 10th. So this report was 11 days ago. The monthly supply of inventory, how many houses on the market, fell again to another record low. We hit so many lows in 2021, and in January 2022, we're still hitting records. All right. But home buyers are remaining steady. Home buyers are out there and they want your home and they want it for more than you may even think. Okay. This has led to a record low inventory and a steady rise in the median price of homes being sold. All right. The prices of homes are being sold. The price of homes being sold are going up. I want you to pay attention to this number right here. In December 2020, the average price of a house was $274,000 in the Hampton Roads area. This is just for Hampton Roads area. 7 cities. Major cities: Norfolk, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, and Newport News. All right, and several outlying areas. So 7 cities. The average price $274,000. December 2021. 1 year later, people's equity in their homes rose $16,000. So imagine in December 2020, imagine your house having $20,000 worth of equity. And then a year later, your house has $36,000 worth of equity. I remember going to, I think it was 2017 or 18. I was trying to sell our first house that we moved in when we came to Virginia, and maybe 2018. And we were actually heading on a cruise, about to fly to Puerto Rico. And that was on a Thursday. The Monday before, I got a call from the agent, and I wasn't even a real estate agent at the time. I got a call from the agent basically saying that our buyer did not qualify for the loan. We were like 4 days from closing. I was selling the house, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom in a cul-de-sac, 700 square foot garage. I was selling the house for $143,000. That was in 2018. Today, if I wanted to sell that house, I would get at least $185,000 for it. at least 185 because there's actually three bed, one baths in that same area in Newport News and Newmarket area going for 180, 185. So I'd probably get maybe 190. All right. That's how much equity has gone up. 5.64%. All right. And these just talk about how many listings. As you can see, listings are down, meaning how many people put their house on the market are just down. Pending sales, new construction is down. New construction shot up. People couldn't find houses, so more people now were like, let me go build a house. And if you ever thought about building a house, it's just a house. There's nothing special or fancy or anything about new construction. It's newer, it's brand new, but you know, a lot of times people don't want to go new construction because they don't know the process. It is very similar to buying a house, so don't be scared of new construction. All right. And lastly, just kind of walk you through the process of buying a house. Thank you for the reaction. Here's the process. You meet with your agent. All right. That is me. You sit down with the agent and I kind of talk about what is your goal? What are you trying to do? Why are you selling your house? Next, you sign the documents and we choose the list date. You sign an agreement with me that you give me the exclusive right to list your house. And we go through a bunch of other documents and we choose a list date. Then we prepare the home for listing. And actually, you prepare the house for listing. And when I say prepare your homes, what up, Mark? When I say prepare your home for listing, what I mean is you declutter. Now, the best house to put on the market that sells the fastest is a vacant house. All right. Vacant houses sell faster. Why do they sell faster? Because people can walk in the house and they can envision their furniture, their curtains, their paint, their pictures, their desks, their bed. They can envision it. All right. Does that mean that your house, if you're living in it and have to show it, won't sell? No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying what the best possible situation is to sell a house. If you are going to sell the house while you're living in it, which is totally fine, declutter, 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 declutter. Oh yeah, declutter. You don't realize that when your house is cluttered or it stinks or it's dirty, when people walk in your house, they can't see their vision in your house because they're distracted by the dirt, the clutter, or the smell. I remember taking a client to a house in Portsmouth, and the house actually was not bad. I felt like the house fit her. It was in her price range and all that type of stuff. But when we opened the front door, I swear to you not, the house smelled like pee, cat pee. And we covered our noses. We walked through the living room. We walked into the kitchen. The house was relatively clean, but it smelled like cat pee. And my client was like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this. Okay. So declutter your house, get rid of the trash, get rid of the garbage, get rid of all that stuff. All right. Before you list your house on the market. You can keep your furniture and all that type of stuff there. I'm not saying that you have to live in like a sanitized hospital environment. What I am saying, though, is that any papers or, you live in a house, right? So you got papers and things and wallets and chapsticks and bills laying around. Take that stuff and throw it in the drawer. Take that stuff and throw it in the closet. A lot of people will take stuff and throw it in the garage. That's fine. Just make sure that it is not cluttered. After you prepare the home for listing, I will take pictures of the home. People will buy your house because of the pictures. People will buy your house because of the pictures. Or I should say, people are drawn to your house because of the pictures. So if there's a lot of clutter and there's things all over the place, a lot of times agents will send homes to clients and they'll reject houses that could possibly be for them because it's too cluttered. All right. So declutter your house. Declutter your house because people are going to look at pictures and they'll choose your house to come to. All right. Once we take pictures of the house on number 4, we're number 5 right now. The home goes live on the market. Now, here's the thing about home going live and dealing with an agent when you're setting up. There are a lot of folks out there who are doing FSBOs, for sale by owner, and they're doing for sale by owner because they don't want to pay an agent and they can get more money by not paying an agent. And I totally understand that. To be very honest, as an entrepreneur myself and an investor myself, I understand somebody saying, hey, look, I don't want to pay you no money to sell. I can sell my house myself. And I salute that. Here's the thing. In your lifetime, you may buy and sell, which means you may sell a house and buy another house to live in 2 or 3 times in your lifetime. Okay? 2 or 3 times in your lifetime. Where somebody like me is doing that on average of 20 to 25 times a year. Okay? That's the first thing I would tell a for sale by owner. Hey, look, you can try to sell it yourself if you want to, but if you need a backup plan, come holler at me. Because this is what I do. I know how to price it. A lot of times for sale by owners, they actually fix their house up too much. They do too many repairs, or they don't know what repairs to do. Perfect example. This morning, I take my clients to a house here in Smithfield in Rescue. Now, this is a house that we saw a year ago. All right. The house was on sale a year ago. Nice house by the water. It should sell. The problem is the ceiling in the dining room is falling. So the house comes back on the market. My buyers are like, hey, that house that we liked a year ago is back on the market. We want to go check it out. I hope they fix the ceiling. So we go in the house. They put down some carpet, cosmetic. They did some painting, cosmetic. It was really nice. The house is kind of old, so they removed some stuff and made some things a little bit more functional. We went into the dining room. Ceiling is still falling. And my buyers are like, no. What I would have told that seller is don't put down no carpet. Don't put down any paint. Don't do none of that. Fix that ceiling. All right? People are scared that ceiling's going to fall on their head. Fix the ceiling. All right? Fix the things that are structural and foundational. All right? So a lot of times for sale by owners actually fix too many things. And when you actually bring an agent in, an agent can tell you the things that should be fixed, which really are the super, super important things, and the things that are not deal breakers for buyers. Because a buyer, I did that with my house. We moved to our house and we were like, that's not a deal breaker. We'll do that. That's not a deal breaker. We'll do that. Oh yeah, the HVAC, you got to do that. You got to take care of that. Okay. So the home goes live on the market. Then number 6, we review offers. Okay. Typically what happens is in 2021, houses were literally going under contract in 3 days. You were getting 5, 6, 7 offers in the first day or 2. Things have slowed down for the buyers. Thank goodness. I felt a little bad for my buyers because I had buyers I was searching for months. Things have slowed down. Houses are on the market now for about 14 days on average, just kind of depending on the house. Typically, they'll get 3, maybe 4 offers. And then number 6, we review the offers. Okay, we go over the offers. Once we go over the offers, we select an offer, we ratify the agreement, and the buyer does a home inspection. Now, here's what I want to tell all sellers. Please do not be sneaky and try to hide major things that are wrong with the house, because a home inspector will find it and you will pay for it anyway. Okay? You're going to pay for it anyway. So disclose. It's not that bad. Like, we get scared as sellers, like, I don't want them to find that out because the house, especially in this market, the house will sell. Now, a year from now, you try to sell a house and you got some stuff, it may be tough. It may sit on the market for a couple of months. All right. But right now, home buyers want to buy your home, even with issues that you think are deal breakers. All right. After the buyer does a home inspection, the next thing that we do is we negotiate the repairs. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, again, why is right now such a good time to sell a home? Here's why. in that repair negotiation, I want to say the last, I don't even know, the last 8 months, I've maybe had 1 or 2 buyers actually get some repairs done. Why is that? Because when you have 10 buyers for one house, you're going to choose the buyer that says, don't worry about it. I'm not going to ask for any repairs. I'm going to do a home inspection just to make sure there's nothing crazy, but I'm not going to ask for any repairs. That's what's happening right now, home sellers. Okay? And even those who are buyers, that's kind of what's happening right now. There is no negotiation of repairs. All right? So sellers, this is your time and your season, right? So after the negotiation of the repairs is the appraisal. The appraisal is what the bank does to make sure that the home is worth what we offered or what the buyer is offering to us. This is why you can't have a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot house in, let's just say, Newport News and Hampton, and you want $500,000 for it, unless somebody pays cash. Because the bank is going to send an appraiser and they're going to say, that 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, is it actually worth $500,000? They're going to compare it with all the 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,500 square foot houses in that area that have sold within the last 3 to 6 months. And they're going to say, actually, that house right now is selling for $285,000. So if you put the house on the market for $350,000 and it appraised at $285,000, either the buyer comes up with the difference or you have to lower the price. This is why you need a good real estate agent that understands how to price. Pricing a house is a skill. It's another thing that sometimes for sale by owners do, because they don't do a competitive market analysis and they don't truly know the market price of houses similar to theirs around them. They overprice their houses. And generally what happens is those people that try to sell it themselves, about 90 days in, they go get an agent and they've lost 90 days. They've lost 3 months. All right. And then after the appraisal comes in, everything is good. Closing, and you get paid as the seller. That process from when we first get an offer, right around number 6, we get an offer, to when they close and they buy your house and you move out and they move in, that process is typically 45 days. How long that takes. So that is pretty much the process for my sellers. I think that's it for me. Oh, hold on a second. If you wanted more information, please text me, call me, 504-4460 here in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Hit me on Facebook Messenger. Hit me on IG. Check out my IG. I put some pretty cool stuff on IG. You can email me. That is my contact there. And that's pretty much it. Just wanted to hop in on this nice snowy day. I don't know if you got any questions. You can ask a question. Go to slides.app, or just put it in the comments. That might be easier on Facebook. But I'll just wait a second or 2 or 3. And if there are no questions after about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm gonna dip out and go watch me a movie. But are there any real estate questions? Any home buyer questions? I know I talked a lot about home sellers. Any home seller questions? Any home buyer questions? Any real estate investment questions? I am here. I'll give it a minute or 2. Appreciate everybody that popped their head in, see what's up, and to say hello. Definitely appreciate y'all. Give it a minute or 2. I would say if you're a home buyer and you're thinking about buying a home, or if you're a renter and you want more information on why you should even buy a home, give me a call. The one thing I like to say is that if you have children, hey, Miss House, thank you. Here's the one thing I like to say. In America, only in America, right? When people die, you know what they get? You know what they pass down the majority of the time in America? They pass down equity in their home. Not savings, not their IRA, not any of that type stuff. The main thing that you're going to pass down, the main legacy, or one of the pieces that you'll pass down is your home. Okay? You buy a house, like I said, I bought that 1,500 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I bought that back in 2003 for $99,000. Right now, it's worth double the price. Imagine if you buy that house and you hold it for 30 years, and then you give it to your kids, and your kids can either live in it or they sell that house, cash in, and buy something else. But the main thing that we pass down in America to our children or to our grandchildren is equity. Either the home itself or the equity that is in the home. All right. So I believe in home ownership, not just because you need to own something. I'm trying this house. I'm trying past the house. Hey, Brad, what's up, bro? Definitely looking forward to working with Brad. My homeboy, Brad, is, they're building a dope house. My God. They're building a crazy house with a chef's kitchen. Woo! I'm gonna be up there like homeboy from Friday, like eating all the chicken, all the hog maw, all the pig's feet. All right. But we're actually going to be listing our good friend Brad and April's house. We'll be listing their house in Michael's Woods. And of course, y'all know how I do with the promotion and promoting the house and putting it on IG and putting it on Facebook. The house is spectacular. It's coming. It's coming. End of February, fresh paint. I'm giving y'all like those that watch us are getting a real preview of this house that we're going to list in Michael Woods, Brad and April. It's going to be a really, really dope house, and it's going to go quickly. Great location, great neighborhood. So look out for that. But hey, that's it from me, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Please feel free. Again, let me just give y'all my info one more again. If you have any questions, real estate questions, call me, messenger me, IG me, email me, and I'll be happy to help. I am here to help and to teach. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.